a country known world over to be one such land in Africa, full of heritage and a journey of contrasts, with breathtaking sceneries from towering mountains to huge lakes. Ethiopia proudly boasts about its resistance to colonization, all while holding an impressive record of being the only African country not yet colonized by any Western country. That is how it manages to conserve an incredibly rich cultural heritage born from the rise and fall of ancient kingdoms and empires. This not only reflects the depth of cultural richness in religious diversity in Ethiopia, with Christianity and Islam, but also the indigenous practices by its people, just as much as the two dominant ones. From the mixture of ethnicities to their traditions, Ethiopia remains one of those places where modern urban life meets tribal communities that still retain huge chunks of their traditional way of life. The towns of Ethiopia are thus in rapid evolution, with the spirit of its ancient heritage still vibrant, from historic landmarks like the rock-hewn churches of Lalibela to the energetic vibe of Addis Ababa, the heartbeat of modernity. Addis Ababa is that city where the rich tradition of Ethiopia meets the fast pace of modernization, thus making it an interesting combination of the past and the present. Right in the middle of the bustling capital, one is introduced to Mercato, the largest open-air market in the whole of Africa. The gigantic marketplace overloads one's senses. Vendors selling everything from bright red spices, baskets, and woven goods to electronics. Tantalizing smells fill up the atmosphere and the cacophony of voices bargaining. This is where a tourist can witness the state's rich cultural diversities. People of varied ethnic origins converse and converge to exchange goods. No less famous is the coffee culture of Addis Ababa, dotted all over with cafes and even makeshift stalls of coffee. In Ethiopia, coffee is not something to drink, but a certain ritual in itself. Many street-side coffee ceremonies waft the aroma of roasting beans, beckoning locals and visitors to taste the nation's finest export in a traditional setting. A major landmark in Ethiopia is the St. George's Cathedral, built by Emperor Menelik II, which is the most famous octagonal architectural feature in the city. Being a coronation site, it is a historic cornerstone that hosts a museum of several religious artifacts. Not far from here, the Red Terror Martyrs Memorial Museum soberly tells the story of Ethiopia's turbulent political past, the atrocities of the Derg regime, and who laid down their lives in that dark period. Greener on the other side, Entoto Park offers a spot of silence away from the buzz of the city. Situated on Mount Entoto, it offers a good view of Addis Ababa and is gaining popularity for hiking, picnicking, and even cultural events. Last but not least, Meskel Square is right in the middle of the city, with locals filling it on festive occasions, testifying to how highly socially vibrant and deeply communal Addis Ababa is. In Addis Ababa, every corner tells a story, merging Ethiopia's ancient heritage with a dynamic push towards the future. Lalibela Complex, the rock-hewn legacy. The Lalibela complex in Ethiopia is but a wonder, an out-of-this-world architectural marvel comprising 11 medieval rock-hewn churches, testifying to the devotion of Ethiopian Christians and historical ingenuity. The complex was cut directly into the volcanic rock between the 12th and 13th centuries, and is traditionally attributed to King Lalibela, who reportedly wished to build a new Jerusalem in Ethiopia when the old one became inaccessible owing to regional strife. Each one of these churches is ornately designed in a different style, with highly ornamented entrances, arches and pillars, many of them interconnected by some sort of tunnel or passage to add to the mystery. These churches are divided into two groups symbolic of the earthly and heavenly Jerusalems. Bet Medhane Alem is the largest rock church in the world. This structure is thought to be an homage to the Aksumite architectural style of the ancient era, tending to basilica-like columns. The most exceptional of all is Bete Georgis, or the Church of St. George, which boasts a cross-shaped design on a 13-meter deep pit. According to local legend, these were built with the help of angels every night, thus completing the monumental task within the king's reign. Besides being a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Lalibela is an active pilgrimage centre, particularly for Orthodox Christian events such as Jena, the Ethiopian Christmas. The faithful congregate to pray, and at times stay in villages around where the local people normally show hospitality. Below, this amazing complex captures Ethiopia's deep spiritual heritage, blending natural beauty with historic symbolism to make this sanctuary feel at once ancient and transcendent. Simeon Mountains, the majesty of the highlands. The Simeon Mountains in Ethiopia represent some of the most beautiful natural wonders, rivaling any other hillock and wildlife with unparalleled scenery anywhere in the world. Characterized as the roof of Africa, these mountains are home to some of the highest peaks that fall within the African continent, with Ras Dashen standing at an excess of 4,500 meters. This is a UNESCO World Heritage Site that protects dramatic vistas of deep valleys carved from volcanic acts millions of years ago and rugged escarpments perfectly suitable for trekkers and lovers of nature. The main attraction, Harar, the City of Peace. Rich in history, culture and mystique, Harar is an ancient city in eastern Ethiopia. A UNESCO World Heritage Site, Harar is the fourth holiest city in Islam, with over 90 mosques and shrines, a testimony to the deeply engraved spiritual roots within. Architectural features and narrow streets, with the iconic 13th century Jugol wall tracing around it, will take visitors back in time to preserve its unique character and history. Of the several gates in Jugol, each one belonged to one of the quarters. Thus, the old layout of Harar as a walled city highlighted its function as a trading centre. Harar City Museum contains artifacts, some of textiles and jewellery, some of manuscripts from different Ethiopian ethnicities, coming to represent the multicultural heritage of Harar. Omo Valley, the living heritage. The Omo Valley in Ethiopia is an ethnic treasure chest, with various ethnic tribes living a life that has largely not been influenced by civilization in many years. This vast territory shares borders with Kenya and harbours tribes including the Hama, Karo, Mursi, Nyangatom and Suri, each with their customs, festivals and artistic subtlety, which are an attribute of their beauty and strength in their culture. Hama is mentioned to have one of the rites of passage, bull jumping, whereby young men demonstrate strength and fearlessness by leaping over a row of bulls. Ethiopia's beauty and history are undeniable, yet beneath its inspiring landscapes and ancient wonders lies a journey shaped by hardship and perseverance. The country's path has never been easy, but Ethiopia has always faced adversity head-on, never backing down. Each breathtaking view, from the towering peaks of the Simeon Mountains to the sacred stones of Lalibela, tells the story of a people bound by pride, strength, and a deep connection to their heritage. The faces of Ethiopians, glowing with hope, reflect the resilience of those who fought to preserve their land, culture, and traditions. From the bustling streets of Addis Ababa to the remote, untouched corners of the Omo Valley, Ethiopia's spirit is unyielding. Its rich history of survival against all odds is embodied in every village, every ceremony, and every smile. The challenges may be many, but the Ethiopian people, with their unbreakable bond to their history and land, continue to thrive and grow. Thank you for joining us on this journey through a country where the past and present blend in such a wonderful fashion, where the beauty of nature and the strength of its people leave an unforgettable mark on all who visit.